This is a really short and quick video to show you how to cast on in the round when you have to start with 6 stitches, for example, and then you grow from there. Either you're making a bowl or animal or a poncho, whatever. So it's very simple. You need obviously your yarn, double pointed needles or long cable needles for magic loop, and a crochet hook. It's ideal if the needles and the crochet hook are the same size. If you can't have the same size, go with a smaller crochet hook. You want to have nice snug stitches to begin with. So we're going to start. We're going to hold on to the tail yarn with your right hand side, and in the left side you're just going to hold 2 fingers out, and we're going to go ahead and wrap that yarn around those 2 fingers 3 times. And then I'm going to use my ring finger to just hold that next to my middle finger. So now I have my 3 wraps. My tail yarn is coming out here and my working yarn is going towards the left. I'm going to take my crochet hook and I'm going to go underneath the first 2 strands, or underneath all 3 actually, grab my working yarn and bring it through. So you see how the crochet hook has that little hooky thing there. I'm just going to use that, grab it and pull the yarn through. And then I'm going to come and grab the working yarn again and bring it through that loop I created. There's 1. So that's 1 stitch. I need to do 6 and line them up on my hook. So that's 1. I go in through underneath the 2 first ones, grab my working yarn, bring it back, and then grab my working yarn again and bring it through that loop I created. Just 1. I don't want to bring it through both because I want to leave them on my crochet hook. Okay? Once you have about 2, you can remove your middle finger from the circle and just keep the index finger in the loop. You want to keep that circle there. It'll make it easier. And you just want to go into the circle, grab that working yarn, grab the working yarn again and bring it through the loop you created. 3. Back in, grab the working yarn, bring it through, grab the working yarn again and bring through that 1 loop you created. 4. 5 and 6. The more you practice this, the nicer and tighter and more even the stitches will be. So be patient with yourself. You'll get there. It's not that hard. So now I have my 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm just going to go ahead and slip them onto my double pointed needles. So I'm going to, because I'm using double pointed needles, I'll do 2 on each so that I can have a nice circle. All right, can get rid of my crochet hook. So now I have something that looks like this. I have my 6 stitches on my needle. Let me put this down. I have my 6 stitches on my needles and I have the 2 strands of yarn, my tail yarn and my working yarn. This is probably the most finicky part of it all. We're going to pull our tail yarn always from the direction of where the tail yarn is coming from. So if it's coming from here, let me just, I'm going to unravel this a little because the tail yarn's stuck between the strands there. So there, I'm always going to pull in this direction because I want to pull the tail yarn out. So I'm pulling this and I'm going to look at my 2 other loops to see which one gets tight when I pull my tail. So if I look carefully, I will notice it's this top one right here. So I want to now pull that one, again, same direction from left to right. And my left hand is just holding onto the stitches so that they don't fall. I'm not actually holding onto the circular part, just the stitches. So not everything falls. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that other loop, and notice the other one's getting tighter. So I just keep pulling and pulling until it doesn't pull anymore. As tight as I can pull. Once I finished, I'm left with this super long loop. I'm going to grab my tail yarn, and now I'm going to pull that as tight as I can and watch it all disappear. And now I have my 6 stitches, a middle or circle that's fairly invisible. There's no hole, nothing. And I'm ready to start knitting whatever the pattern needs me to do. If it's knit around and then an increase round, whatever it is, I've set to go. My stitches are on, and it's all ready. I hope that was helpful.